The Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast show.
Seth, I'll wait. Hey, don't fall into your fireplace, loser. This guy's set up in front of a fireplace. I hope this loser doesn't fall in and burn alive in his own fireplace. That would be so quirky.
That would be quirky.
Hey, don't tell people I have a fireplace. It makes it easier for them to track me down.
It's not functional, I can tell.
Look for the chimney.
Hey, don't fall into your ornamental fireplace, New York.
We were told we could make it functional at a cost that was equal to what we paid for the apartment.
Seth, before we get going, I want to just get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Hints or clean?
I'll tell you when it's clean.
Oh my God.
Just want to get this out of the way. Every day, Andy finishes the bee and he texts me that he got it clean. I've never gotten it once clean in my life. I'm going to make a big deal about it when it's clean.
All right, great.
Yeah.
By the way, saying I text you every day and say I got it clean is insane. I do not get it clean every day.
80%?
Just the last two for sure. I mean, that's for sure. But I had a little cold streak last week. Yorm, we texted.
Do you have the hat, Andy? I'd like to see it again if you have it on hand.
I don't have it on me, but I can show you a photo of it.
Okay, yeah, please. I thought it was a genuinely cool design.
I think nothing says male connection like a Zoom where one person shows another person a photo of a hat on their phone.
Yeah, certainly the kind of friendship we're having. Long distance.
There it is.
You do the best you can.
There it is. There's the bee hat.
Yeah, it's got a bee and it's got a little crown.
I'm going to get one that says solid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to just hashtag dance like a dad.
Hashtag dance like a dash. Hey, can we do a quick loop back to an episode before we get to Like a Boss?
Seth, pardon my volume, but I'd love to.
I'd like to talk about the Rock episode, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson episode.
Okay, fine.
Because there was something very special that happened. And Yorm, I hope I'm not going to put you on the spot here, but could you sing real quick? Could you sing us into Seth and Keeves' corner?
Oh, I wonder what this is.
Seth and Keeves' corner, the two of them paired up. What are they going to talk about? Take it away, Seth and Keeves.
I believe, Keeve, that you were the one who had the idea for the Rock Obama.
Oh.
No.
Well, I'll take it, but I don't think so.
I do. I think you came to me and you said, for real,
No,
I have this
You
memory.
think it was you, Andy?
I know it was me.
Oh,
There
I
you go.
apologize, Andy.
Damn.
I apologize.
I remember even better, Seth, which was, it was my pitch on Monday.
Oh,
And pitch
by the way, I'm
meeting.
looking at the rundown now. I should have done it is Sandberg/Myers. So yeah.
And you came to me after and you're like, hey, you're not really going to write that, right? I was like, no. And you're like, good, because I actually think I will. And I'll give you I'll loop you in on it and I'll put you in it or whatever. And I was like, if you want.
You had a great part in it.
Yeah.
It was basically, this was right after the bailout. And basically, Obama was getting a lot of credit for keeping his cool at the time because the whole economy was a shit show, not of his making.
Yeah.
And he had to get everything back. And people were saying, he should be a little bit harder and more temperamental with Republicans who were sort of holding up this bailout plan. And so the Rock Obama, which was obviously Andy just making words sound the same.
Yep.
Was Fred as Obama and then Andy as Rahm Emanuel and just keep telling him like, that's it. Get angry. Get angry. And then we did just sort of an old school 80s TV Bruce Banner shot of Fred's face getting angry. And then I remember we filmed Dwayne Johnson like flexing his muscle and ripping a shirt.
Yep. Which he did with no problem.
Yeah, he had no problem doing it. And then it came up on him. And then the title was The Rock Obama. And everybody was super psyched. And then he kind of talked. He did like half Hulk, half Obama impression.
Yeah.
And he kept chucking people out the window.
The Rock Obama, much like Barack Obama, only stronger and more impulsive. Now, where were we? You, little man in suit.
Yes. I guess what I was just saying was there, some special projects in this bill that, don't smell right to me.
Is interesting point, but me no like.
Yeah, I remember it playing great.
It was super fun. It was everything people wanted from the moment.
Yeah.
This was not Seth and Keith. The actual segment was Andy and Myers. Take it away, guys.
There you go.
Good work cleaning that up, Yorm.
You're welcome.
Yorm has a real integrity to his corner songs that he doesn't want to.
They're always going to be true.
Another thing I remember is the imitable Phil Himes, who was the lighting director at SNL from the first episode. May he rest in peace.
Inimitable or imitable?
Inimitable? Does that
Yeah.
mean that there
I
were
think
no?
you want inimitable. Imitable would mean he's easily imitated.
Well, do your imitation of Phil Himes.
It's not going to work.
Oh, so he is imitable because that was pretty good. Phil Himes, I worry that I've told this story, but I was watching it back and I think this was the sketch. He was super mad at me. He lit Kennedy in the White House the first time they shot in the White House. He was the LD,
Wow.
like in the 60s. That's how long he was doing this. And I basically, for comedy, put a window where there wasn't a window in the Oval Office because the Barack Obama had to throw people out the window.
Oh, yes.
And he like came out of the floor. He's like, there's no fucking window there. And I'm like, film.
You're like, buddy,
I'm like, nobody cares. He's like, I care.
how long you been on the job?
Yeah.
It's SNL.
He's like, nobody. He goes, yeah, I'm not going to. But that, by the way, the reason I know he lit Kennedy is I believe he stood in front of everybody and go, I lit John fucking Kennedy. I was like,
That was how you first
yeah,
suspected.
he announced it to everyone.
By the way, that many years in to care that much is kudos.
Oh, the best.
Yes, but also like it's SNL. Every 10th sketch has a window to get someone get thrown through, right?
Yeah.
Like, how else are you going to end the sketch?
It's Chekhov's window.
If there's a window, someone must go out of it.
Wait, Andy, the other great Phil Himes story, and I'm going to ask you to, I'm going to tell it, but then I would love you to say the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Billy Bob Thornton was hosting, and he was running his monologue wearing his baseball hat.
Yeah.
And Phil Himes came out on the floor and said to someone else, somebody tell him to take his hat off.
Right.
And then Billy Bob Thornton basically was like, hey, old man,
Hey, old man,
if you got something to say,
if you got something to say
it to my face.
it to my fucking face. I added something. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, you did add a little
did,
something.
I
Now,
did.
I also want to clarify, Billy Bob Thornton did not do this in front of everybody. He walked off stage and he went
Classy.
and he talked
Yeah.
to Phil Himes about it, very man to man.
Yeah, class
And
act.
Phil, who I never saw do this, Phil had a real like, I apologize.
Nice.
Like there was a real like two decent men of honor.
Oh, yeah. Just two guys meeting at high noon, deciding not to fight.
We like that.
It's great.
Something else I would like to mention very quickly, just so we can play a clip. There was a really funny sketch. There's two sketches I want to talk about from Dwayne The Rock Johnson show. One was called Hawaiian Hotel, and I hadn't watched it for a long time. And it was basically Fred and Dwayne as people at a Hawaiian hotel who were like playing a Hawaiian song and just sort of dancing over to different tables and then being super mean to the tourists. And then there would be an awkward pause and then they would sing this super light, frothy Hawaiian song. And also, Fred's voice was like a crazy register.
Yeah. Got to challenge himself.
But also, Dwayne is a really funny dancer. Like, you could tell he had danced like that before,
Oh, yeah.
ceremonially. So it's a great big laugh every time they dance off.
Well, Hawaii's a beautiful place to live.
Yeah, I should have seen it before. It was covered in hotels.
Yeah, here's a fun fact about Hawaii. Our biggest export is coffee, and our biggest import is fat white tourists.
But then there's a sketch that I might claim is peak Jost. And that sketch is To the Lighthouse. Do you remember To the Lighthouse?
I do not.
To the Lighthouse, you're in it, Andy.
Fuck.
Is
So glad you can't remember these things.
It's just the live stuff. I was out of body, I guess, for all the live stuff.
The Rock brings Kristen back to his lighthouse. So it starts with them, interior top of a lighthouse, and they walk in, and Dwayne's like, so this is my place. And Kristen goes, wow, you live in a lighthouse. That is so romantic. Kristen, I'll be the judge of that. They move into kiss. Dwayne says, and again, this is like 6 lines into it. Like, just credit to Jost for how quickly the game is established. Hold on, let me just set the mood. Reaches over, flips a light switch. The spotlight at the lighthouse dies, and then you immediately hear a horrible shipwreck.
Oh, cruel Poseidon! We've been scuttled!
The rocks came out of nowhere! Why didn't anyone warn us?
You know what? I'm just gonna turn this light back on. Now, where were we?
Please! If anyone can hear us, send help! Captain! The beacon! It shines! But where was it before? Oh, what evil trick is this?
Now that's a really fun game. But then there's another game, which is Dwayne The Rock Johnson's character is filthy in this sketch. Kristen said, do you hear that? It sounds like screaming. I hear my heart screaming that it wants you. And then Dwayne says, let me throw in a little music. He says, do you like salsa? Kristen, I like eating it. Dwayne, then I hope your ears are hungry. And then he claps to do a salsa dance. And then the lighthouse light is hooked up to the clapper.
Yeah.
Goes out again. Immediately a second shipwreck. And now Bill and Bobby are on the rocks with you as a second captain and first mate.
I guess this lighthouse is hooked up to the clapper.
Our ship's been torn asunder!
Did someone just yell rocks?
Saint Elmo has forsaken us! Our vessel is ruined! But what of the lighthouse? Is no one manning it? Hooray! The devil himself!
Maybe I should just keep this on.
Are you sure there's no one down there?
No, it's whales, and they say the only way to calm them is with the sound of two near strangers making love. But they'll also accept a BJ.
Oh my God.
And then Kristen says, I'm going to go down there. And Dwayne said, that's what I like to hear. Oh, wait, you mean go check on the people?
Oh, he's a dirt dog.
Dirt dog. And then Dwayne says, do you like margaritas? Kristen says, no, I adore them. One margarita coming up. He turns on the blender. The lights go out again. Blows a fuse. And then it cuts to Sudeikis as a jet ski guy on the rocks. Now here, again, I've left out the one other great note. And do you still not remember this part of it, Andy?
Honestly, I don't remember it at all.
How embarrassing.
Jost gave a note between dress and air to the crew to literally just soak you guys with buckets of water.
That sounds familiar.
So in between each line, they're throwing a full bucket of water on you guys. And it's so fucking funny. And the audience is delighted because they can just tell it's more water than you were expecting.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want that much.
Good for Jost. Way to be in control of the sketch.
So a third layer.
What the hell?
Okay, now what was that?
Hey, how am I supposed to take a midnight jet ski if there's no lighthouse? Steel yourself, men! There's a sea beast upon us! Running through!
And then the next time we cut back, Jason is dead and has like 4 pieces of wood sticking out of his back. So they killed him.
Oh, we thought he was a sea beast.
Yeah, because you're old-timey sea captains and he's a modern
There's
guy.
time travel happening.
Because he's a jet ski
yes,
guy.
yes.
Gotcha. Oh, that's-
But anyway, to the lighthouse. Check it out, everybody.
And you got to remember, this is before the movie The Lighthouse.
yes.
yeah, like way before.
Way before.
Changes everything. This is the final sketch of the night. Makes sense.
Last sketch. I think you wouldn't want to soak the floor the way they did if there were more sketches to
Yeah,
go.
you're just asking somebody to skid out on their way to the next thing otherwise. Also, that BJ line probably wouldn't have played good at the top of the show.
Yeah, I think that's probably true as well. Anyway, one of my favorite Joe sketches. And now we're to the Seth Rogan episode. And I kind of want to just turn it over to you guys. And like a boss, where did the inspiration for this one come from?
So this is from the record. Not that that's the inspiration, but it's back in Encino again, right?
Yep.
The
It would be
album's
funny
out.
if that was the inspiration. If you thought that was the
Yeah.
answer to the question, like,
Yeah.
oh, it was on the album. So we just
so
were
we were inspired to
do
make
it.
the video for it.
Okay, well, go back one step.
It was super inspiring.
Yeah, got any more brain busters, Seth?
I was listening. I woke up that morning, was like, I want to listen to some good music. So I turned on our album that had just come out. And I was like, whoa, I'm inspired by this one song to make a video. And, that's where it came.
It's the guy who's bad at answering interview questions.
Wait, just a tangent for a second. Keith, speaking of, I want to listen to some good music. Will you explain your Alexa little foray into talking to Alexa about our music?
Oh, yeah. I'm honestly trying to remember. We have a video on our YouTube of it, but what was the phrase exactly?
It was hot trash, I think.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Chicago.
Alexa, please play Hot Garbage. But that was just real, right? Our record, we were doing Bash Brothers, and then they said, hey, Alexa will do a crossover thing and help promote the record.
I think it was also for our tour.
Yes.
We were in rehearsals for the tour, and we recorded it at that studio.
Exactly. And it was like, you can make Alexa have a special keyword and it'll play Lonely Island songs. And they showed us other artists that were like, hey, Alexa, play, like, it was like Lil Wayne saying, like, play some dope shit or something. And then it would play Lil Wayne. And so we made it play some hot garbage.
Play some hot garbage. Now playing songs by the Lonely Island.
And it really worked.
Yeah. I don't know if it still works. But
I think the video's on our Instagram or YouTube of us doing it, but it will work for anyone. I don't know if it still works. Please, somebody out there, try it out.
And if it doesn't, we got to re-up it because that was great.
It's a pretty great promo.
You know, when you do a special thing like that and then it doesn't exist anymore, it can hurt. Like, just off the top of my head, I created a signature hamburger for Umami Burger called the Samburger.
It's a hamburger, of course.
Very delicious.
What else would it be called?
Pretty sure 90% why they asked me is my name.
Yeah.
And Keith, you were there, right, when we tried them all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had to go to their main test kitchen in downtown LA and try lots of different bespoke burgers to Andy's taste.
So fun. A bunch of them were based on ideas I had pitched. One of them was the one it ended up being, which was like a Chicago dog themed hamburger, which I love Chicago dogs because Akiva put me up on them. I never really liked them, and then he showed me them, and now I love them so much. But that was the one we ended up doing, and it was very delicious, and I often crave it and wish I could have it, but it just went away after like a month.
So this is a shout out to Umami. Put that Samburger back on the menu.
Is that technically a shout out though, or is it more like a plea?
It's a plea. It's a beg. It's like a digital beg.
Or if there's any other burger spots out there that want to try and recreate it.
This was years before Wahlburgers, I just want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And before the Lighthouse.
Do you think that's how Wahlberger got his revenge about your impression?
He killed the Samburger.
He killed the Samburger.
Well, if that was how it worked, because that shit made hell of money.
He can't wait for the day to see you and say bye to your burger for me.
Oh, my God.
He's been that loaded for 10 years. He's had that loaded. Yeah, but Like a Boss. Well, we're in 2009, and from 2005 to 2009, there was many songs about being a boss.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah, we listened to a lot of those. The one we listened to the most was when we were shooting Hot Rod. We listened to Rick Ross's first album, I think his first album, Port of Miami. Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's his first, but it was the first to us.
Yeah. It was the first one we really got up, and we would play that album almost every morning. We shared a trailer on Hot Rod. It was a big old nice trailer, but we shared it. And we would blast that. And, you know, there's a song on that album called Boss. There was Just Another Day in the Life of the Goddamn Boss. What is that? T-Pain and...
It's a Rick Ross
and
featuring
Rick Ross.
T-Pain. And that was one of the big T-Pain, ones that even kind of fit into the boat territory, honestly.
Yeah. Yorm, can you sing it real quick?
No, but the Young Jeezy, I feel like there was a...
The Young Jeezy? No. Well, there's the Meek Mill Rick Ross song, also called...
I'm a Boss.
I'm a Boss. And then, of course, Slim Thug, Like a Boss, which is that and the Rick Ross one, I think, musically influenced it the most. But, like, it was a boss moment, Seth.
Yeah. There was a boss
moment where a lot of people were saying, I'm the boss. I am like a boss.
It's a little bit like a Santana Champ, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although this is a direct parody. Slim Thug said the phrase like a boss a bunch on Like a Boss. So there is that. But it was in the culture for years and years. And every time in every version, there would be some sort of lame joke made. I'm not going to say which of the three of us made it, but where you would take boss literally and be like, so can you file that report for me? Or whatever it is.
Was there that?
I feel like immediately every time boss would come up, we would be like, there's something funny about that word. Like, oh, my boss is writing me, but then how it was being used.
Okay. Well,
you came up with the song, Andy. You tell me why you did it.
I don't know. I don't remember us joking about it beforehand, but I know that was what happened. It's slightly embarrassing because it's so basic. It was one of the days I was in the studio and I started just writing it. And I was like, what if the boss was like a boss at an office? Isn't that funny? I remember coming out and Keith being there and being like, hey, come help me write this. And he came in. I had already written like the first 8 lines of it or something. And I was like, and then it just keeps going. And then we wrote it very, very quickly and didn't think much of it. I thought it was going to be kind of like, I mean, the whole song is like a minute 40 something, minute 50.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be sort of like a filler track.
Yeah, like almost an interlude because the premise is so first thought.
Yeah.
But it shows how execution is everything.
I was definitely in the room for this one because I was engineering this one.
Ah, there you go.
Support comes from Factor. Yorm, guess what season is here? Don't look at the calendar.
Oh, God. Oh, it's almost summer. It's tail end of spring into summer. So I don't know.
Summer's here. More
Okay.
sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. The number thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready just in 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. And Yorm, I know you, bro. You want to be at the beach. You don't want to be, checking out early to go home and make a, 3-course meal for your family.
I'm a beach guy. What can I say, Seth?
And guess what? With 45 weekly menu options, Yorm, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I had the truffle butter filet mignon the other night, Yorm, and it was an absolute game changer. And tomorrow, you know what I'm going to have?
The truffle butter filet mignon.
Well, I know it. Well, okay. Yeah, you know what? I was going to say the jalapeno sweet corn, polenta, and chicken, but I enjoyed the truffle butter filet mignon. I might have it back-to-back nights.
Okay.
Get started at factormeals.com/island50 off and use code ISLAND50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code ISLAND50 off at factormeals.com/island, ISLAND 50OFF for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/island50 off. Support comes from Mint Mobile. Hi there, Yorm.
Hi, Seth.
You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. That's why I made the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network. Is that a good amount of G's for you, 5, Yorm?
It's better than 4, as I always say.
Always
And
say.
when you said you were worried about getting burned, I thought you were talking about sunburn. But what you're talking about is even worse, Seth.
Financially burned, which I've always said, second only to financially burned is how I feel about a sunburn. You guys, use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan. You don't need a new phone, and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/island. That's mintmobile.com/island. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required. Equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for the first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for detail.
Support for the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast comes from Airbnb. Yorm,
Yeah.
you travel a lot. You like staying in houses.
Yeah, well, when I was hanging out with Tommy Hanks in Pittsburgh, I actually stayed in the Airbnb up on a hill. I can't remember the name of the hill, but it was overlooking the city. It was Primo, and it was a very good location. You know what they say about real estate, Keith? They say location, location, location. And this had the location. It was very easy to get to everything, and yeah, it was clean, and I loved staying there.
You know, Seth's story about where he stayed was also a Pittsburgh story. And then we also have been talking a lot about Pittsburgh. It just feels like we're kind of Pittsburgh guys.
Yeah, go to Pittsburgh, stay near Gooski's. I bet there's an Airbnb right near there.
I went to Pittsburgh once and I stayed in a hotel. And honestly, I would have preferred an Airbnb because when you have an Airbnb, you have a kitchen. And especially if you got kids, that's really key. And you might even have a washer dryer. And that's pretty key. And it's nice to not just be sharing walls with strangers and to be in your own space.
Yeah.
But let me flip it on you, Yorm. Let me flip this on you.
Ooh, okay. Getting real now.
We've been talking about when you are traveling and you're in someone else's house, but what about your house? First, you create a welcoming space for others.
Oh.
You get the joy of sharing a home with travelers, and you get extra income that can allow you to travel more or other life goals. You know, I don't think they're going to micromanage how you spend your money after you get it. You use it how you see fit.
Yeah, whatever hobbies you got.
Yeah, but Airbnb is great as both traveler or as a host. You have no idea what your house is worth right now. You might be sitting on a little gold mine. Might be able to pay off that mortgage and get yourself a little ice cream on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your home could be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host. I just ended your ad for you.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to keep going and then we'll start and go through it? Because I feel like this one deserves that treatment.
Sure.
Here it is, Like a Boss, featuring Seth Rogan.
Let me just say Seth Rogan in the Parnell role from Natalie Rap.
Correct. But on the album, it's me.
Yeah, on the album it was Akiva. That was
Correct.
So the album's done and it's out for 2 months now. So this was an interesting thing too, where I was like happy to hand it over to Seth Rogan, but no one made us do it. But we knew we're making it's for SNL and it should have the host. And I don't know, I'm clear-headed enough to be like, if I was an audience member, what would be more exciting, me introducing it or Seth Rogan, the movie star who's very hot on all these comedy movies right now? I think probably the host.
But at Dress, I remember that when it started, like 4 different people were like, "That's supposed to be fucking Keith."
Yeah. And it warmed my heart. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, it's cool. It was even my idea to take myself out, guys.
Well, at Air, I was going to say at Air, you came out and you gave a speech.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Guys, I chose this."
Yeah. I'm also a producer on it, and I can see the big picture. I don't want you to compliment me too much about this, about being
I'm
so
also
big
a
a man.
producer
I'm
on
happy
it.
to step aside.
I will also say, Keith, like, it's easier to hand something over if it's not your actual, like, verse, right?
Yes.
Just kind of like the skit part, and we're making a skit show.
We had done it a couple of times. We did it with Glurk. We did it with Dear
Exactly,
Sister. We
exactly.
did it, yeah.
So I'm not like mad about it.
No,
You're not still mad at it.
But it's a nice little thing for people that when they hear it on the album, they're like, "Oh, it's my main man, Keith."
Yeah. Or for the people that were confused about this.
One other thing, though, I'll say before you dive into the step-by-step of it, just to continue on the thought of that we didn't think much of it, we weren't ever thinking this was going to be a video one. And then our label told us that, I believe the quote was like, "The kids around the office really like that one." Do you remember that, you guys?
Wow.
I don't remember that.
We're like, "Oh yeah, like some of the guys like at their cubicles or whatever in their offices like that have the record and are helping put it together and promo and all that have been pointing out that they like this song." And that sort of turned us around on it.
I love it. So we do credit to the kids who are now a full, I want you to, before you give them too much credit, know that every one of them now is likely married with children.
The kids love them.
Kids love
They were
them.
old enough to work for a record label. Do you know the other time that we heard somebody say something similar like that, a record label executive to an equally famous artist?
Oh yeah, when we were recording with Rihanna.
Yeah, and it was L.A. Reid.
L.A. Reid came in and he was like, "I gotta say, I'm hearing that the kids really like Rude Boy."
Wow.
But it was not a single yet. And
Nope.
he came and sat on our ratty couch in our
Yep.
office because we were recording Rihanna.
And then if like a month later or something, or 2 months later, it came out as a single. And we were like, "Whoa, we were there and heard that convo."
Yep.
And sure enough,
Just part of history, you know?
good song.
All right, here we go.
So that's Seth.
That's Seth. He's walking. He's got a mustache.
Mr. Sandberg, thanks for coming to your performance review.
No problem.
So you're in charge around here, is that fair to say?
Absolutely. I'm the boss.
Okay, so take us through a day in the life of the boss.
Well, the first thing I do is
Talk to corporate, approve memos, lead a workshop, remember birthdays, direct.
Paula Pell.
Paula Pell.
Yeah, this one has some writers in it. We had a little Paula Pell, who's now a well-known actor in her own right.
Let me just jump in and say, so I'm watching it for the first time and I'm thinking, okay, the comedy is going to be super aggressive about boss stuff.
Yeah.
Now, shame on me for thinking that there aren't going to be some twists and turns in the hands of the Lonely Island.
I mean, he did say it's a day in the life of it. And days are long, you know? Lots can happen in a day.
yeah, it's a day in life. And right now I would say, like, you know what? None of the things he's doing seem cool to me, but he's enthusiastic about it. And, you know, who am I to judge his happiness about the kind of boss he is?
Yeah, normal boss stuff.
Yorm, you almost sang the T-Pain lyric that Andy asked you to sing.
Yeah.
That's it's just another day in the life of the goddamn boss. That's right. Goddamn boss.
Oh, can you slide that so me and Keith are exactly synced?
Perfect. And auto-tune us, please.
And also auto-tune us, and then also replace us with T-Pain?
Wait, when are we going to sing? When are we going to hear the new theme song?
Oh, the one you asked for? The Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Is it going to be in this episode?
I think it should be because I still haven't heard it, so I want to hear it live.
Yeah.
You wanna just take a little break for it?
Yeah, let's take a little break.
Take a break.
Greg Chun, once again, has risen to the occasion. And we have a new theme song in the style of Alvin and the Chipmunks that Yorm's going to hear for the first time.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I bet it's flattering.
There's these funny guys, you know, got themselves a podcast show. Lots of laughs behind the scenes and lessons about what friendship means. Voice notes from cool folks abound, disgusting Andy Join us almost once a week. It's the happiest place you can be.
It's the Lonely Island Seth Meyers podcast show.
Wait. Oh, Andy's Alvin? Oh, fuck.
Seth yelled it last show. You were there.
Only in his mind.
But it's because you ate it. That was a big bite of an apple, and then you yelled Andy.
Andy's Alvin?
That's just Greg's interpretation of it, Yorm.
I was doing a theater.
Voice notes from cool folks abound. Disgusting Andy eating sounds. So it's all pulled right from the headlines of last week's episode.
It's really nice. It's really nicely done.
He's got his finger on the pulse of the cast.
And since we've totally, broken up the momentum of Like a Boss, Andy, you want to give a shout out to Jack Quaid making his breakfast?
Jack Quaid, what's up, my man? You making your brekkie? Little brekkie brek? Or is it dinner time? Mac and cheese. In my mind, all Jack Quaid eats is mac and cheese.
I think he's got roommates. It's a little bit sloppy there.
he's like
living like a 22-year-old.
Isn't he like
it's a lot of just
adult
PlayStation 5.
He's like starred in many movies and shows.
He's got a bunch of. He's an adult man, but he shares an apartment with 4 22-year-olds, and
he's
always
33, but yeah, he's hanging out with a bunch of 22-year-olds in a frat house.
Yeah. It's like a sitcom situation for him.
And they're always like, Quaid, he shouted you out again.
I made some split hot dogs on the. I just held him over the stovetop in no pan.
He's always walking around to his roommates going, "You gonna eat that?"
Somebody did write a comment. I love that this podcast has turned into some kind of psychological experiment solely targeting Jack Quaid.
Jack, I hope that it's enjoyable.
All right, back to the song. So again, if you remember, as we return to the song, things are pretty normal. Andy's just a guy who's happy about being a boss.
Yeah, right now we're just like, hey, The Office is a hot show. We're in that world. It's office culture. Yeah.
And how many seconds in are we?
We were about 26 seconds in. I'm going to go back like 3 seconds to get a little roll in. Here we go.
Great.
There's Paula again.
Remember birthdays, direct workflow, my own bathroom, micromanage, promote synergy.
Micromanage Mulaney there.
Yeah.
Yep, little baby Mulaney's.
Promote synergy.
A young Mulaney. Look at it, how svelte he looks.
Mulaney looks 9.
Yeah.
He looks crazy young. He looks like Simon Rich.
He looks like Quaid's roommates.
What's up? Oh, that Quaid. Sorry. I was like, from Total Recall? Now I'm getting confused.
Do you think we set decked this cubicle, or do you think this was just a real person's cubicle somewhere in the building?
Set decked.
Set decoration.
So this guy's a sports nut. He's got Yankees. He's got a Super Bowl pool.
Yep.
What floor was this on?
17.
We're definitely in the building. Just some shutdown floor.
Hit on Deborah, get rejected, swallow sadness, send some faxes, call a sex line, cry deeply, demand a refund, eat a bagel, harassment lawsuit, no promotion, fifth of vodka, on Deborah's desk, buy it.
I like that you brought a newspaper.
Yeah, well, it premeditated.
Yeah, it's a very nice detail. You're right, Keith. He wasn't just shitting on her desk. He knew it would take so long that he also wanted to get his newspaper reading in.
Yeah, and he knew that he needed to shit on her desk, but it wasn't like he had one locked and loaded. He was like, this may take a while, specifically because I'm doing it at a time when I normally wouldn't.
So basically, Deborah's failure to welcome your advances has sent you on a real spiral.
I mean,
On a daily spiral.
we might be dealing with an untrustworthy narrator here.
The eating a dry bagel on a paper plate over the sink, I remember we talked about a lot, like in terms of, I remember saying the words aloud to whoever was doing props and like, no, he'll just be eating it with like a paper plate over the sink. Like it wasn't random. It was very specific. Like, what's the saddest way you can eat a bagel?
It had to suck bad, yeah.
It's really...
I do like the check back in with Rogan, though. Like, it's just that it's being told to a guy the whole time is a nice little reminder of like, and then you're aggressively talking to him about it.
So we've bought a gun. We know that's what's happened. Also, Yorm, that's you serving the
Yeah, me and Keith make a little cameos.
Yorm serving papers, Keith selling drugs.
Sell the gun, right? Didn't he sell you the gun?
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that. We had Wig and Sudeikis, but they're cast. I mean,
I just want to point out for a boss, all it took was one thing going a little bit wrong for you to just fall to pieces.
Once again, we're working in the tradition of the classic, Seth. It's an untrustworthy narrator situation.
Gotcha. But you're the narrator. All right, never mind.
Yorm, what's the most famous novel that you've read that has an untrustworthy narrator?
Great.
Don't say Confederacy of Dunces, dude. Do not fucking do it.
Don't dunce us again.
Don't you do it.
I'm really thinking. I don't read much these days, guys.
And if you're gonna read, Yorm's always said to me, if I'm gonna read, the narrator gotta be trustworthy.
Damn straight.
I don't got enough books in me to be jerked around.
That's why I don't read that much. There's not enough of
Don't
them.
ask Keith because he'll say the Constitution and then we're going to have a whole thing.
Oh, fuck, here
Wow.
we go again.
That's good. Here we go.
Lawsuit, no promotion. Fifth of vodka on Deborah's desk. Buy a gun in my mouth. Oh crap, man, I can't ever do it. Pussy out.
Should I be playing the clean one? Not because we don't curse, but because then we hear the SNL laughs, see what they're going for.
Oh, well, I like hearing the dirtiness.
I feel like that's taken us back into the world a little more.
Can I ask a question? Do we have the shot in the SNL airing one where the gun is actually in my mouth? Because I feel like that maybe would have been a point of contention.
Oh, but wait, I forgot to point out the best thing about the page we were just on, though. Let's see if it loads it the same. It did. See over here?
Yeah, Seth Meyers' Closet Picks, Criterion Closet.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours ago. I'm excited to watch.
15,000 views in 4 hours, Seth.
I'm excited to see what kind of stuff.
What's that? How'd I do?
15K in 4 hours. Hey, Seth.
Can I tell you?
Seth,
Because you know that yeah?
Congrats on all your success.
Thank you. You know, I obviously read YouTube comments now for content. I read our YouTube comments to see what people say.
Right.
Sure.
And I read my show's comments for corrections. And so I'm in a bad habit of reading the comments. And somebody was like, I fucking hate when non-directors do Criterion Closet. It's just for people who like movies, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tons of actors have done it.
Give me a break.
Also, I would say that out of anyone's opinion that I respect, like you and Neil Brennan, if you like something, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll pay attention. Whereas, me and Kiva are directors. Akiva is pretty lax, I would say, with his likes sometimes.
I like a lot of stuff.
He's like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that.
I am lax. All right, here we are with laughs. We're going to see what you did on that gun moment.
It was faster.
Yeah, no, it's not in the show. You didn't put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was wrong.
Oh crap, man, I can't ever do it. Pussy.
Oh my God, you're
And we did the clean version.
instead of shit. Instead of shit, schnurr. It's a great sound. Fuck.
Puke on Deborah's desk. Jump out the window.
There's one of those Phil Himes windows.
Chekhov's windows.
Although this is the short. He was not even near it. I wish I could go one frame at a time, but somebody in the comments will tell me how to go on a YouTube clip one frame at a time.
Is that me jumping out the window? I think it is.
That's not an easy window to jump out of. Was it really you, Andy?
No, you didn't do
They
this.
did not let you jump through that. No way.
Is it a stunt guy or is that me?
Has to be a stunt guy.
It's a good jump. If it's you, Andy, it's a good jump. I'm
It's a
impressed.
stunt, man. It's got it.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
I mean, I did that live a few times, but not maybe with that much momentum.
Pizzazz.
You could have easily hit the bar, though, and hurt yourself.
Out the window. Suck a deuce. Score
there's
some
Bill.
coke.
I love this take when you go running by Bill to suck a dude's dick, but both of you guys have some pretty good, body whips in this. You're very whippy, Muppety.
Yeah, it's a very cartoon, they should have a break sound of this guy's.
It's like if two Muppets were, doing fellatio.
AKA all of our fantasy.
Here we go. Let's see it. Whoa.
That's a nice
the
cut.
speed.
Nice edit.
The speed in which you had to do it.
Yeah. It's got a nice boomerang momentum to it.
I wonder if there was, now I need both versions. I'm curious if we had more, if it was more graphic in the other version or not, because we cut out of that fast.
And also maybe we see me do some coke in our version.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so glad we did a visual unedited version. Very exciting.
Yeah, we didn't usually do it.
Yeah, but we'd already recorded the song for our album, so, when in Rome.
Suck a deuce. Score some coke. Crash my car. Suck my own. Eat some chicken strips. Chop my off. Black out in the sewer. Meet a giant fish. His brains out. Turn into a jet. Bomb the Russians. Crash into the sun. Now I'm dead.
He was the best.
Yeah.
It was the best.
A lot happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, in 10 seconds, quite a lot happened.
Very, very fun shot of you sucking your own dick.
Yeah.
Yes, that was precursor to the 100th digital short.
Yeah. That's how we learned how to shoot it.
We learned a lot.
Is the tombstone at the end the best? Is that a reference to, was that already a Khaled thing?
I think that was already a Khaled thing.
We the best?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, yes.
It's a great fish.
This is one of my favorite. Andy having sex with that fish, because your face is demented. Like you were a straight up breakfast defector.
Did they make that fish for us? Because this is our one set where this is
If ever a breakfast defector there were.
You're demented, bro. You definitely have fourth meal.
Oh my God. Don't ask Akiva about the Constitution, Seth.
won't.
He will
He'll go off. Fucking unreliable narrators all the way.
The founding fathers? Yeah, let's start there, brother.
More like the founding liars.
No patriot is he.
But the fish is great. It's a giant fish.
It's
and,
a really good fish.
Yeah, you're really enjoying yourself. Well, not enjoying yourself. You don't seem to be enjoying fucking his brains out.
Oh, and the fish comes back in the 100th digital short as well. Precursor.
Oh, yeah.
But can we play out? I will say my favorite part, though, is just the interaction with you and Rogan at the end and just what a dumb dude you are.
Right.
Uh-huh. So that's an average day for you then?
No doubt.
You chop your off and die.
Hell yeah.
And I think at one point there you said something about sucking your own. Nope. Actually, I'm pretty sure you did.
Nah, that ain't me.
Okay, well, this has been eye-opening for me.
I'm the boss.
Yeah, I know. I got that. You said that 400 times.
I'm the boss.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm the boss.
Okay, great. I heard you. Bye. Like a boss.
You mentioned, what was the thing Khaled did do first?
We the
We the Best. We the Best is one of his main things.
We the Best.
Okay, so the way to go one frame is when the video's paused, the period key makes it go forward and the comma key makes it go back. One frame.
Wait, repeat that, Keith? That's a really handy thing. So if you want to step through YouTube clips.
Period forward, comma back.
Terrific.
All right, so can we then go and see if it's Andy or a stuntman?
I don't know if there's enough in there, but we can try. But by the way, should we rename the pod Life Hacks?
Oh,
Ooh.
After we get through the 100, yes, we should just make it that. Fun life hacks.
Is it too wordy to call it Super Sick Life Hacks?
No.
Okay.
Super sick.
Support comes from Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is the don't hold back snack. They're healthy and they're tasty, so you can snack without holding back. Wonderful Pistachios is the craveable snack that tastes too good to be good for you. Irresistible flavors, honey roasted, jalapeno lime, chili roasted. Bring the heat, the sweet, or the kick to keep you coming back for more. With 6 grams of protein per serving and 0 grams of regret, Wonderful Pistachios are one of the highest protein snack nuts. And if you don't believe me, ask Akiva. You didn't send anything in? Great. No shells, no limits. Don't hold back on flavors or convenience. I'll tell you what I like is just eating a ton of pistachios, and I'll tell you what I don't like when I forget to hide the shells, and then my wife comes home and says, "Did you eat all of the Wonderful Pistachios?" And I say, "No, I didn't." And then she'll say, "Well, where are all these shells from?" And I'll say, "Your guess is as good as mine." Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. This podcast is sponsored by Smalls. Hey, Jorm, real quick, what do you think Smalls is?
Oh my God, did you bring me onto this ad because I'm short?
No.
Oh.
Jorm, I would never do this.
Okay, great.
Smalls is a cat food.
Oh.
And it does not have questionable ingredients, which I know you would not care to give to your cat.
I would never do that, Seth.
Yes.
And anyone who accuses me of doing that is a liar.
Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, Jorm.
Well, you don't know what I'd find in my fridge.
Cats.com named Smalls their best overall cat food. To get 35% off plus an additional 50% off your first order, head over to smalls.com and use our promo code ISLAND for a limited time only. I'm going to slow down, Jorm, because this is a bit of a narrative about Smalls.
Oh, great.
Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. A few short years later, they've served millions of meals to cats across the U.S. Do you think they're bad guys or good guys over at Smalls?
That story was wonderful, and I think that they're good guys based on the story.
I'll prove it right now. Smalls works with Humane World for Animals, donate over $1 million worth of food to help cats through the Humane World for Animals, and they even give you a chance to donate at checkout, whether you donate $5 for flea and tick medications or $7 for vaccines. For limited time only, because you are a Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast listener, you get 60% off your first order of Smalls, plus free shipping by using our code ISLAND. That's 60% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code ISLAND. Again, that's promo code ISLAND for 60% off your first order, plus free shipping at smalls.com.
I had forgotten that this guy denies having said that he sucked his own dick.
Well, it's weird. Like, he's an unreliable narrator who then immediately starts walking stuff back. It's very strange.
I kind of want to hear Keeve's version because I will say Rogan did a very good job being incredulous with all of your just looking at you being like, okay.
Right.
Was quite good. But Keeve, were you equal to that?
I mean,
be honest.
I mean, I don't think I'm the actor Seth Rogan is, so I don't know that I'd want this apples to apples comparison.
I liked Keeve's more. That's how sure I am Seth's never going to listen to this.
We already know that people on the studio do not listen to this.
Fucking Ike.
Right.
I can say anything I want about Ike. He'll never know.
Like, as old a friend as I have, loves comedy, loves you guys, doesn't have time for a pod.
Emphasis on old, am I right, Seth? Doesn't matter. He'll never hear it.
Old as shit.
When he gets into the car or is doing exercise and wants to llisten to talk something, you know what he's listening to, Seth. When he wants talk radio style talk.
Oh, Rogan.
No. He's a huge Howard Stern fan.
No.
He is a huge Howard Stern fan.
He is legitimately a very, 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 like, knows the trivia, like, can go on there and tell you everything that people did over the years.
Well, I remember the first time he did Stern, it was like a real rite of passage for him.
I thought for sure you were going to say family trips, Keeve, but let the truth ring out.
I was not a joke. It was a real thing.
Yeah.
I cannot tell if it's you or not, Andy, but it does. I'm guessing it is.
I don't think it is.
I just went through it back and forth a bunch of times.
Can I clean up a couple things? Oh, wait, do you have more to say about Like a Boss? It's very fun. I was happy to watch it again.
I think that we could say a little bit more. I mean,
please go in.
The thing about it that was unexpected was that it became a bigger one. Like, it really is one that gets referenced a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of our bigger singles for sure.
Yeah.
It's good that you said that, Andy, because I remember when it aired, it was funny, but I remember you like having sex with a fish, not that it was a real earworm banger, but that's what it turned into.
Yeah.
It turned into like a song of yours that people like to play.
Correct.
Well, it also turned into a meme and a thing people say.
Yeah.
You know, like totally divorced of the video and of us and the song. And we didn't invent it, so it's not ours. But the success of that meme is certainly from our SNL video, not from all the references, which is also weird because we're referencing a bunch of stuff, but we certainly popularized it after it was already very popular in one way.
Correct. Not ours to claim, but it did become permeated for a long time. I mean, I remember like driving to LAX and seeing a huge billboard that was like, "Fly like a boss," and being like, whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yes, there was a Beats by Dre ad. There was an entire movie
called Like a Boss
that came out like 3 years ago called Like a Boss. Like a Boss is a catchphrase often used in image macros or GIFs that feature a person completing an action with authority and finesse.
This is off the top of his head.
Similar to Haters Gonna Hate, the characters in the macros have an air of superiority and do not care how others perceive them.
Nice.
The internet's great.
The phrase stems from the Lonely Island single Like a Boss, a parody of Slim Thug's song of the same name. That's a fair assessment.
Love it.
Did you guys do this on tour?
Yes.
We did.
Yes, Andy did. And me and Yorm kind of stomped around behind him doing the Like a Bosses.
Yeah, we did good. It was kind of a fun part because we would pass each other.
We went back and forth just being like a boss.
Do a little
like a boss, like a boss, like a boss.
I like the way, Yorm, you said it was nice that we passed each other. Like, you genuinely were like, remember we used to see each other every time we passed.
Yeah, we did. We would be on different sides of the stage and we'd be like, here we go. We're marching towards each other.
Nice to bump into you, sir.
We would give each other a little look of like, we're up on stage doing this. Isn't that funny?
It's really nice that like when you were on tour spending all that time together, Yorm still liked, and then we got that extras time.
Yeah.
No, okay, but there's two moments from the tour. Like there's a couple of me and Keeve moments, but we all had moments of, we've been friends since we were 12. So the idea to just be on stage, sometimes performing for a lot of people, like at Bonnaroo was like 35,000 people. So to do that and pass your friend that you've known for this long and be like, hello, sir.
Oh, you again.
Oh, hello, here we are. This makes sense.
Fancy to see you on the Boss performance.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I reference from the tour all the time was we would also be backstage, me and Keeve, when Andy was performing Threw It on the Ground, and we would always listen in for the lyric, and they tased me in the butthole, because to have several thousand people sometimes all screaming, and they tased me in the butthole, was just this moment of like, what is
That
happening?
would be the funniest moment every time.
Why does anyone like this?
It's hard to think of a better place to be on earth than in front of thousands of people screaming that line along.
Oh, God. It made me so happy every
Very
night.
wonderful.
It was lovely.
But yeah, it would go off like a boss at the concerts. It was musically very fun to do and kind of was a gift that kept giving, that song, because we never really had high expectations for it. We just thought it was like a fun, stupid throwaway idea.
I mean, it's super catchy and super fun to sing.
Oh.
Are we watching the commercial?
I was curious what this one was. There's a
It's like
wannabe
almost a turtleneck and chain that this guy's wearing.
Sandberg, a casted Sandberg here. Oh my God, it's going on for so long. Hold on.
Kmart, shop like a boss. That's what we're looking at.
Didn't quite save Kmart.
Nope. And all the articles in Forbes about it going down, that was kind of the moment that they point to in the graph where it starts kind of nosediving after that.
They were like in a desperate attempt to win young shoppers.
Wow, so many brands just took it.
I just Google searched "earn like a boss" on Uber. Here's an Arm & Hammer Power Sheets TV spot, "Toss like a boss."
Ah. Seth, you like to toss like a boss, right?
I do like to toss like a boss.
He said it.
I don't mean. There's an Acura ad from 2015, "Drive like a boss."
Like a boss compilation? Yeah, there's a lot.
I like that the podcast has now just turned into Keeve scrolling Google.
I mean, we're
Google.
all kind of sleepy. It was for me just like, hey, nice.
I mean, again, last one was fucking just red hot. Getting a lot of feedback from last pod, especially how it ended.
Which was...
How did it end? I didn't get to that part.
Well, you were on it.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't get to that part. How did it end?
It was mostly just talking about why Mari didn't want you to show your wang on girls.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
yeah, the guy.
And about who it affected.
Guys, by the way, I know it's ha 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 ha, we're all laughing and everything. Like my wang is fucking totally reasonable size.
That's what I said.
Everyone knows it's good.
That's what I said. It's totally good.
Everyone knows it's good.
I know. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that.
Did you guys look at how many views it has on our post, on our uncensored post of Like a Boss?
I did not.
Do you want to guess?
79,000. 79 million, rather.
I'll say between Yorm's two guesses. Somewhere between Yorm's two guesses.
Like a boss is over 100 million.
No, it's like,
been a long
I
time.
bet it's 150
Yeah,
million.
it's over 100.
150 million.
182.
Wow. So I was wrong when I guessed between.
But Keeve, are you factoring cumulatively all the clips? What about
No, just that one. Just our one.
what about the
post.
clean one? What about the SNL? Like, are we up over 2?
I don't know about that.
Okay, because I don't even care.
You're not a numbers guy.
I'm not a numbers guy. I just want to impact the culture in a positive way.
I feel like you have to factor for inflation, though, too, because there's more people that
that's a good
check
point.
YouTube now. So, like, the hits meant more back in the day.
Yeah, there's more people on Earth.
So, what do you think with inflation? What do you think it is, Jorm?
At least 400 million.
Great, Seth. What do you think?
At least 250.
250. And Keeve, what do you think of the Constitution?
You can't trust them.
It's a Molotov cocktail,
You
Seth.
can't trust guys who wear wigs. You can't trust guys who wear wigs.
Unreliable narrators. Anyways, to get back on track, I agree with Andy and Yorm that this thing, we were surprised when our record label told us it was the one that the kids liked.
Yeah.
And then we made the video and had fun and we liked it and thought it came out well. And then we were shocked at what a long tail it had and how well received it was. I guess that's the end of that.
Couple of, I'm basically pulling corrections into the pod, but I kept saying Calvary instead of cavalry.
Did you? Why did you do that?
I don't know, but Calvary, of course, is the place where Jesus was crucified, and I'm sorry to bring religion into the pod.
I mean, obviously, you
It's
lost
that,
me.
we made a deal early on. I wouldn't talk religion, and Keeve wouldn't talk Constitution.
Seth, it's a Molotov cocktail. You don't want to say that to Keeve.
I think King Lear famously had 3 daughters, not 2 sons. A lot of people giving you shade on that, Keith.
That's who he's giving his kingdom to and deciding who it's going to go to. That's the succession story of King Lear's daughters.
Keith, I'm giving you a chance here to be like, duh, I knew, big mistake. And instead you're just shocked.
No, I have no clue. I've never read King Lear.
Oh, it's worse for me because when I heard the pod, not the end of it, and heard Keeve say that, I was like, wow, Keeve knows the plot of King Lear.
I mean, the quickest Google means I'm totally wrong. I always thought King Lear was the succession thing, but with like 2 sons and and they're all vying for it. I'm totally wrong.
So now that you know it's 3 daughters, is there any chance you'll read it?
Yeah, I'll read
Okay,
King
good.
Lear. No problem. I'm a voracious reader.
Yorm, is this true? Was this really your answer last week? Somebody wrote this was their favorite line. I said, where is I don't give a honk from? And Yorm, you said our brains, which if that's true,
He
what you
definitely
said,
said
that's
that.
really, yeah.
That's like a 4-year-old's answer.
Also, I alluded to a film. A lot of people said if you're alluding to the film Milo and Otis being the inspiration for Rocket Dog, it has been proven as an urban myth that a lot of animals died on that movie.
Oh.
Really?
So I'm not admitting that that's the movie I was alluding to, but were you to infer that, I want to clarify that might be an urban myth.
Well, but offline that we cut out, you did say that it was Milo and Otis.
Yeah, but then we cut it out so people would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did say it.
So Yorm, I think like the point of the edits.
Next question. Something was wrong in the last pod. I think.
I only wanted it out last week. I want it in this week. I wasn't like cut it. I was like save it. All right. Well,
no more housekeeping.
No more housekeeping. There wasn't much housekeeping this week.
We didn't really talk too much about that album and the Chipmunk song. I thought it was really good. And shout out Greg Chun. Good job.
Great job, Greg.
We didn't talk about the episode either that Like a Boss was in.
Oh, yeah.
Was there anything that popped for you in the episode? You guys had a Muppet sketch. It was the last sketch of the night. I don't quite remember it. Do you remember it?
I'm going to go ahead and guess I was playing the Swedish Chef.
It's Muppet Bus. It's a Bobby is the first name. According to this, then it's you and then Mulaney, but I don't know if it's accurate.
We're screwed. Oh, man, Beaker's freaking out. Smarky board. Smorgy board.
I was also in a sketch called Girlfriend Voice that Seth Rogan, Mulaney, me, and Bill wrote together, apparently.
Gotcha.
Which I think is probably like how guys, when they're like, are talking shit and being all brash, and then when their girlfriend calls, they change their voice. Hey! You know what I mean? Not something that we've ever done because we are honest, true selves with everybody.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Easter album. That's a Clancy T. Baccarat and Jackie Snad.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? Why don't we just drop in and play our new national anthem, which I'm assuming, since that's how that sketch ended, it was a national anthem based on Easter.
Oh, Easter Bunny, your laser eyes have murdered my beer jar spouse. And now there's broken glass, beer and blood on my spaceship's floor mats. Oh, and one day I will mount an army of toddlers to march with me and seek revenge. And they will cut off your balls and shove them where your gouged out eyes were. Oh, Model T. Oh, Easter Bunny.
There is a sketch. I had no memory of it. I went back and watched it. I really liked it. It's a very, very dumb sketch. It's called You're the One That I Want. And it's Fred brings in Seth and he sits him down and all the other employees. It has a real Like a Boss feel. Everybody's standing around and Fred says, hey, do you remember how I asked you? Everybody on the team put together a presentation of my speech. These guys worked on the PowerPoint. These guys worked on the special effects, and you were in charge of the audio. He's like, yeah, I remember. And then he said, well, this is what was on the CD that we sent to all of our clients. And it's just the Grease song, You're the One That I Want. But every time Fred plays it, he plays it for like 40 seconds. And it's just 40 seconds of that song while everybody just like stink eyes Rogan.
Oh, God.
That's really good.
And it's really funny because then Fred talks about how hard everybody works and then he like just keeps going like, and instead people heard this? And then he plays it for another 40 seconds.
It's like beyond obnoxious.
It's really good.
This sketch, I assume, is not available for people to listen to then, or watch it, rather.
Unfortunately, I feel as though it will not be available. I bet you can do this, Andy. I bet you can do it.
Okay.
Phoenix is the musical guest.
Yeah.
Name the two songs.
Listomania and 1901.
You did it. I'm proud of you. Well done. Really good. It's hard to do that. You did it.
Did you get that clean? Did you?
No,
get that
I
clean?
was fully looking at the rundown.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
God damn it.
Didn't get it clean.
Like, I'm the one who just told you guys I wrote a sketch and everyone ignored me. I don't know what's going on this pod. This is a fucking disaster.
Listen, I told you I was very sleepy.
I have like 2% left on my computer, so I might have to go get a charger. Or we just try to jam it out till I die. Not till I die, till my computer dies.
Jam it out till you die.
If we jammed this out until you die, that would be a fucking groundbreaking show.
Oh, my God.
Obviously, I love you, Seth. Obviously, I love you. Do I want you to die?
Yeah.
No, dude. Stop being so fucking sensitive, man. It's groundbreaking. Just hear me out, you fucking life-loving piece of shit.
The only way you would root for me to die is if we wouldn't end the podcast until I did.
Look, if there's one thing everyone knows about me, it's that I love podcasts, and I want to make my indelible mark in this field, in the medium that I so love and adore and cherish, frankly. Something groundbreaking like Seth dying. Let's go for it, fellas. Who's with me?
Dude's Looking Dope is next.
Ooh,
That never aired.
People don't know what that is. Yeah.
Cut from Efron.
Can't wait to talk about that one.
Well, so we'll do that. We'll briefly touch on that. Then Mother Lover.
Wait, really?
So a big one coming up. Yeah.
God damn.
And then, also in Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that was the Kathy where JT was on as Kathy's husband, and then Jessica Biel came on as Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we already covered that one.
I know, I did too, but
We did talk about it randomly when you were talking about, I think, Kathy, your first Kathy.
Yeah.
We just jumped and talked about this one, but this is the Rock episode is the one that had it.
Oh, interesting.
Then the next week, there was remember we talked about Save Broadway. There was a sketch called Save Comics that was about the comic strip characters, and Kathy appeared back-to-back weeks because Kathy showed up. And you know what? I'll just have Kevin play the line. You had some line where, like, we have to protect our strips, and then Kathy made a crack about her strip that I did not care for.
Oh.
Woo, Kathy, we're trying to think of ways to save our strips.
Hey, don't look at me. I don't have a strip. Mine's so overgrown it looks like the Amazon rainforest.
Well, I'm sure I didn't write it.
That's not very Kathy-like.
No. Who wrote the sketch? Let's get to the bottom of this.
I mean, I think Mulaney's name was first. So.
That pervert.
He didn't care about it.
He's never understood Kathy, what she stands for, and what she's about. First thing I thought about him when we met.
Oh, but then, Yorm, I feel like we could do a very special episode on the last of the season is Mugless.
Oh, yeah.
I know, not a digital short, but Mugless is the sketch that didn't work that I think about the most.
Well, I will say, it's going to be a little painful to like reveal this darker side of myself to our audience.
Oh, right, because it's autobiographical.
Yeah, this is an autobiographical sketch.
You were very young.
No, I would do it tomorrow, Keith.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then,
yeah,
interesting.
No, this is like deep soul shit that we're going to reveal.
I've never thought about that. That means we did one that didn't air, which was rare for us, then did Mother Lover, one of arguably the biggest ones we ever did, and then another one that didn't air the very next week.
Well, Mugless is a sketch. Mugless is not
No, but
short.
My Secret Weapon.
Oh.
The puppet one.
That one should have aired, though, I feel like. But
I know, but it's interesting that we sandwiched Mother Lover with two unaired things. I didn't realize that's how that went.
Mother Lover took a lot out of us. We'll get there. Yeah. But it was a huge...
And then we had a whole album full of new songs and then just made a new song because we needed a Dick in a Box sequel.
Because it was Justin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is crazy that within, 5 shows, we did Boat, Boss, and Mother Lover?
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. Guys, we'll get there.
All right.
Well,
pleasure.
I love you guys.
Love you.
We love you, Seth.
Love you,
See you
dudes.
next week.
Should we talk for another 5 minutes, though, and just see what happens?
Later, Quates.
Wait, who was that?
That was the guy.
That's how it always ends. Now, later, Quates.
And is that Quado or is that somebody else?
Wait, you came up with your own tag?
Yeah.
You didn't tell us?
Yeah.
It's grabbed from like a random soundbite. That's why it sounds so different from my normal voice. Later, Quates.
But it's Quado, or is it someone totally else?
No, it's just from like a soundbite from some AM radio thing or something.
Did we have to license it? Do we pay a license fee every time we use Later Quates?
No, it's so short. It's fine.
Can I hear it one more time?
Later, Quates.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Shit.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just do a dry run. So we'll do the normal ending, and you just to give a sense so I don't get caught off guard by it next time.
Love you
All
guys.
right, love you guys.
Love you, Seth.
Love you. Later, Quates.
I love it so much. It's really...
I do?
Yeah.
I hated it. The first time I heard it, I super hated it, and now I love it so much.
Yeah. We're right back on board.
It's good to have something so that everyone knows the show's over.
Yeah, it's a signifier.
Yeah, true. And period.
We don't have like the Lonely Island Seth Meyers podcast is presented by or produced by, right? It just cuts off after we are done talking.
Yeah.
We don't play the jingle again.
We should do like a daily thing, though, this thanking all
So
of
I think we keep making the problem, though, because we keep talking over it. So, like, this
Exactly.
time...
It has to just be the ending.
Yeah, now let's do it for real.
We're going to do it just one last time, run through it.
Sounds good.
Here we go.
All right, love you guys.
Love you, buddies.
All right. Love you.
Love you, Seth.
Later, quits.